Hey y'all, welcome to Veggie Farming. I'm Stacy, and I'm still renovating my garden, focusing on solving problems in the garden. Today, we're moving over into this side corner of the garden that does not have drip irrigation. So one of the problems is keeping the soil moist during the heat of summer. My first attempt to solve this problem was using DIY Oyas made from terracotta wine coolers, but as you can see, over time, left out in the elements, it started to break down. And this bed itself has started to rust. So when I was looking for a better solution, Vego Garden sent over these EZCube self-watering planters, and I think this might be the perfect solution. The manual is easy to read with lots of detailed pictures to make it easy to follow. Once I pulled all of the parts out of the box, all it took was a few screws to attach the legs and the hose connecting the two cubes together. Then I was ready to take it outside and finish the assembly. The open bottom of these cubes will serve to hold the water that'll keep the soil moist for the plants. These grids that go on top will serve as the base for the planter, and it'll allow the soil to absorb the water from beneath. Everything easily snaps in place, and building the walls is like putting together a Lego structure. At the bottom of the wall pieces, there are some connectors that slide into the base and lock by pushing it in the direction that the arrows indicate. The corner and center pieces slide into place and just snap into the bottom. In one corner, there's a water gauge to show the water level, and the top is ventilated to make sure that oxygen reaches the plant's roots. On the other side, there's a water level regulator to control how much water is held in the reservoir. Before you fill the bed with soil, you have to test to make sure there are no leaks by adding some water and seeing if there are any drips. And I found I had some dripping from the hose that connects the two cubes together. The clamps that hold the hose needed to be tightened more with a screwdriver. Once you start adding the soil, make sure that there is soil inside all of the holes. This ensures there's contact with the water beneath before filling up the rest of the bed. I'm filling this bed with soil that I previously used in another raised bed, so it already has a mixture of perlite, vermiculite, peat moss, and other amendments that I've added over the years. It's still light and fluffy, so I thought it'd be perfect for this bed. Now comes the fun part, the planting. So I'm starting with an organic fertilizer that I'm just mixing into the top layer of the soil. I've decided to fill this bed with some lemongrass that I started from seed, and I also ordered some bare root seascape strawberries from Etsy that I want to try out in this bed. I think both of these will benefit from having consistent access to moisture throughout the summer. I've had these strawberry roots for a couple of weeks. I've just been keeping them moist inside this terracotta pot, but now they've leafed out nicely and I think they're ready to plant. I'm going to start by laying everything out in the position that I want to plant it and go from there. This EZCube planter says that it can withstand temperatures from -22 degrees Fahrenheit to 176 degrees Fahrenheit. That lets me know that it should definitely be able to handle the heat of the summer and our coldest winter temps here in my area. I'm in Zone 8B, North Texas. I have two other Vego garden beds that I've had for 3 years, and they are some of my favorite beds to grow in. All I have to do to clean them is just hose the dirt off, and they still look brand new. The Vego garden beds cost a little more, but I'd rather pay more for something that's good quality and going to last longer instead of having to repurchase over and over again. If you're interested in having one of these beds, I do have a discount code. That'll get you a little bit off. There's a 5% discount if you use the code VeggieFarming5. That code is good until at least April 30th. As I'm planting the strawberries, I'm burying them just deep enough to cover the roots and making sure not to cover the crown of the strawberry. I've always heard that if you cover the crown, the plant will rot. So I make sure not to cover the crown, and I haven't had any of my plants rot so far. This planter is actually 2 cubes connected together. So there is a center divider in the middle, so I'm making sure to plant on either side of the center line. So sometimes I'm rearranging to make sure everything fits in place. Now that everything is in place, I'm filling up the water reservoir, and you can see that the water gauge is starting to rise. It's recommended that you only fill it up about 40 to 70% full and make sure not to overfill it. In the beginning, the plants will benefit from some top watering just until the roots can grow deep enough to start reaching for the water at the bottom. And adding an extra layer of mulch also will help to keep the water from evaporating from the soil. I'm excited to watch these plants grow throughout the season, and I'll bring you along and show you the progress. Thanks for watching. Happy growing. Watch this video next if you want to see some of my other garden renovations.